In early 2025, two power brokers met in a secluded back room away from prying eyes. The air was thick with unspoken alliances and the weight of hardliner factions ready to turn on them at a moment's notice.
Vlad, you know I don't like complications. Let's keep this simple. Our mutual interests require absolute trust.
Trust is our only currency, Donald. We must secure our bond with a mechanism that ensures neither of us betrays the other. I'm giving you a private channel, a signal contact handle, jgoldberg. Neither of us can be exposed, so it is the final guarantee.
To Putin, thus, the handle jgoldberg was intended as a familiar echo, a reference to Jay Goldberg, Trump's trusted divorce attorney from years past, a man whose name resonated with personal loyalty and long-standing history. For Trump, it was a covert method of communication that, when not exercised, would serve as a dead man's switch, tying their fates together.
Jay Goldberg, I understand. Consider it done.
But did he, back in the White House, amidst the hum of urgent conversations and digital beeps, Trump's office was abuzz. An instruction was relayed to add Jay Goldberg to the secure Signal group, a group meant only for top-secret military operations.
Sir, I'm setting up the contact for Jay Goldberg on Signal. Do you have a phone number?
You don't need a phone number. Just add the one that pops up.
And in the rush of command, the name Jay was changed to the letter J. Hey, I'm a J, and it's been happening to me since email was created. If I give them my email, people usually just stare at me till I clarify name or letter. It's a problem I'm sure Donald never experienced before. But I digress. The system's autocomplete favored Jeffrey Goldberg, the well-known editor of The Atlantic, and that name was accepted without cross-check. Thus, an unintended recipient was swept into the inner circle.
I'm receiving messages that I'm not supposed to see. Confidential military operations. This isn't my beat. Something's very wrong here.
Within hours, Jeffrey's discovery exploded into what would soon be known as SignalGate. The leak wasn't a mere technical glitch, it was the catastrophic misfire of a secret mechanism designed to bind two leaders in mutual accountability. The fallout was instantaneous. News tickers flashed SignalGate, national security breach, and headlines screamed of internal chaos. The private pact, once a safeguarded secret, was now splintered in the public domain.
This is an outrage. I was given a handle, Jay Goldberg, as a sign of loyalty from Putin. Instead, I end up with this leak. Putin set me up to humiliate me.
Mr. President, with all due respect, it appears there's been a miscommunication. The contact was intended as a private marker. Your trusted Jay Goldberg, not the journalist. It seems the system auto-filled the wrong entry.
No, you don't understand. This was no accident. That handle was meant to be our mutual insurance, a record of collusion that binds us. But why would he have chosen one so close to the name of the editor of The Atlantic? He must have known this would happen, which must mean he just assumes we are incompetent. The integrity of our pact is shattered.
As Trump's fury mounted, the implications rippled outward. Intelligence agencies began to piece together the breach while Russian hardliners grew restless. In Moscow, behind closed doors, a different tone emerged.
They have botched the signal. Our assurance has been compromised. Now the file, the evidence of our collusion, is public, and our mutual safeguard is lost. This changes everything.
The very instrument that was meant to enforce loyalty had backfired. With the Jay Goldberg record in the open, both leaders were now exposed. For Trump, the misinterpretation was a personal slight, a humiliation engineered by Putin. For Putin, it was a strategic failure that emboldened his critics and hardened his resolve.
This isn't merely a technical error. The dead man's switch has been disarmed. The collateral damage is immense internal factions, adversarial intelligence, and a volatile geopolitical climate.
The narrative had flipped. Instead of a secret pact ensuring mutual destruction upon betrayal, the collapsed mechanism now served as a beacon for chaos. The mutual insurance that was supposed to prevent either side from turning on the other was gone. In its place lay a powder keg, primed by mistrust and the inevitability of retribution. In the days following the leak, Trump's anger morphed into a dangerous obsession. Convinced that Putin had deliberately fed him a humiliating message, he began taking retaliatory actions, threatening 50% oil tariffs on Russia and contemplating other moves that might spiral into irrevocable escalation.
Listen up, this isn't just a mix-up, it's a betrayal. Putin thought he could play his hand by giving me that jgoldberg handle to embarrass me. Well, he's wrong. I will not be made a fool. I demand a recalibration of our channels now.
Across the Atlantic, Putin's responses were measured yet ominous. The SignalGate breach had not just disrupted a backroom alliance he'd been working on for years. It had also ignited suspicions among his own hardliner factions. A chilling undercurrent of mistrust and the threat of retaliatory moves began to emerge.
Our delicate balance has been disturbed. The record of collusion is compromised and our enemies are watching. We must act decisively to ensure that the leak does not escalate into full-scale betrayal.
For the American public and the broader international community, the fact pattern is ripe for interpretation, but the message is clear. The severity of the breach combined with the absence of credible explanations suggests that answers would reveal deeper levels of entanglement and misconduct. Now, I have no doubt there will be a mid-season twist that totally reframes this, but we must responsibly consider the consequences of every scenario. That what was once a hidden pact to maintain mutual control had crumbled into chaos, and that in this high-stakes game of nuclear-level secrets and back-channel maneuvers, the wrong move could spark an irreversible conflict. Just because the cover-up hasn't been admitted doesn't mean the blowback isn't coming. This season, on the National Security LARP, we tackle the destabilizing fallout. The stakes are more than just political power. They're the very threads that hold global stability together. The record of collusion that was meant to keep enemies at bay is now public, and every actor on this stage is forced to choose to de-escalate or to let the knives fall. The time to act is now. Remember, folks, in a world where every misstep is magnified and every signal carries the weight of destiny, the race is on. And we, the people, must piece together the clues, hold our leaders accountable, and ensure that sanity prevails in the face of imminent collapse. Now let's throw it to Kim Bauer for a closing message. Take it, kid.
There's a moment, maybe it's already hit you, when the world you knew stops making sense. When the work, the rules, the chain of command, all of it feels hollow, like echoes in a building that's already burned down. And still, you sit in the ashes pretending it's fine, but it's not. Something inside you is shifting, scratching at the inside of your ribs, begging you to remember what you are. Not broken, not lost, becoming. At first it's just a crack, a glitch, a flicker on the screen, a question that refuses to stay quiet. What if this isn't all there is? And once that question is born, you can't unhear it. You can't go back. That's the start. That's the rupture. The lie of safety begins to rot, and something older, something wilder starts to rise. Then the hunger hits, hard. You want truth, even if it scorches. You want to rip off the mask they handed you and breathe with your own lungs. You start pulling at the seams of systems, stories, even yourself, because you need to know what's real. That fire? It's not rage, it's clarity. It's your signal that you're still alive, and you were never meant to shrink into silence. But transformation is not clean, it's not poetic, it's dark, messy, lonely. It's the chrysalis, the dissolving, the not knowing, the falling apart so completely you think you'll never come back. And then, you do. Different, unrecognizable, true. You claw your way out, trembling, changed. And for the first time, the wings on your back aren't decoration, they're declaration. You don't fly for yourself. You fly because the world needs someone who remembers what truth tastes like, who's not afraid to burn. If you feel it, that ache, that pull, that fire under your skin, you're not alone. We're out here, off the grid, beyond the rules. Eyes open, fire lit.